Hello listeners once again, welcome to our channel. Doing fine. I hope you're going to like today's video. Now, if there is one thing that is going to take Ruto home in 2027 election, if there is one thing that is going to even make him difficult kupata over 30% of the cast votes, is what happened in the ODM meeting, or what was said in the ODM meeting that happened in the coastal regions yesterday, including what happened, including the statements of the daughter of Raila Odinga that she said while in that meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, in this analysis, we want to look into the eventuality of the ODM party, the direction that's likely to be taken by ODM party, and how it's going to affect the Rutos presidency in 2027. And without further ado, let's get into it. But if you're watching for the first time, always remember to subscribe, like this video, and also can give your comment in the comment section. Now, ladies and gentlemen, right now as we're speaking today, if an election was to be held today, you can unanimously agree with me that Ruto will not get votes from certain regions, and some of these regions we have been there, and that's what the ground is saying. Like Mount Kenya region, the Mount Kenya region will not vote for him. The Kisii region will not vote for him. The Western region, a good percentage of it will not vote for him. Now, that only means that the regions that President Ruto highly depends on in his re-elections is the Rift Valley, the Nyanza region, parts of the coastal region because of the influence of the likes of Hassan Ali Joe, and northeastern because of the likes of Aden Duale, a bit of northeastern, the North Rift regions. But even if these regions were to support him, they must fully support him. Fully. 90+% of their votes must support him to pull a fight against the opposition. To try and compete, leave alone winning, to even try and compete against a united opposition. Because how do you explain that, the fact that Kiambu alone has over almost 1 million votes? Kiambu County alone, the entire of the Mount Kenya region has about 6 million votes. If you go to Western region, almost 2 million votes. Kisii region, almost 1 million votes. So the other regions that President Ruto depends for the 2027 re-election must fully support him to the last core. But what happened yesterday in the meeting that happened in the coastal region by ODM, you could clearly state that ODM is determined to produce a presidential candidate in 2027. Even Winnie Odinga did say that they are not going to allow some people to sell the party during night meetings and in boardrooms. Should ODM produce a presidential candidate in 2027, whoever it will be, should it be Edwin Sifuna? It can be even Raila Odinga's daughter. She can decide to run. Should it be even Orengo? Whoever that person will be. Should it be even if they decide now that they're going for the youth wing and they give the ODM ticket for presidency to Babu Owino? There is no chance for President Ruto's re-election because a good number of the Luo vote will go to that ticket. That will mean that Ruto will have lost one of its biggest dependent for the 2027 competition. Now, what happens if ODM produces a presidential candidate? Another thing that is likely to happen is that if the opposition also divides, then that election is automatically going to go to a runoff, where we'll be having two top candidates running for the second round. But do you think in such circumstances, can Ruto even mock to the top 3 candidates or the top 2 candidates automatically without a fully support of the Luo Nyanza region, which is likely to produce a presidential candidate? then he will miss in the top two, in the top two slots of the presidency, because in a rerun it only means that the top two, number one and number two, are the ones who are going to go to the re-election. However, the catch in that is that President Ruto now will come to the negotiation table. If things happen that way, will come back to the negotiation table with an aim of making a negotiation. Because if it doesn't make the top two candidates, then he'll have to determine, he'll have the Rift Valley vote. He'll have and the other supporters will have voted for him the first round. Then he'll come with high stakes of supporting a candidate. In return, it will lead to a negotiation. And listen, that's why we have always said that the opposition doesn't have a choice but to produce one presidential candidate in the first round and ensure that they garner 50+1% of the total cast votes in the first round of voting. Should there be a division in the opposition, it will provide for a rerun of the election, which automatically will mean that whoever will make number 3, number 4, they will have a chance to negotiate with either of the candidates in the top 1 or 2 slots to determine who becomes the next president of the Republic of Kenya. And that's why I've always narrowed this competition in the opposition to Fred Matiang'i and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and of course with the guidance of former President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is a close ally to both of them. Because I believe in that in 2022, if you know the history of what happened, Uhuru Kenyatta is the one who urged Kalonzo not to run for presidency, but just to rather support Raila Odinga. If you look the relationship between Uhuru Kenyatta and Fred Matiang'i, very good relationship. Actually, that's why even Matiang'i joined Uhuru's Jubilee party to that will be fronting him as their presidential candidate. So, with the guidance of Uhuru Kenyatta, Matiang'i and Kalonzo should find a workable ticket to run or to ensure that they produce one presidential candidate. Of course, with the support of Rigathi Gachagua, Natembeya, and other supporters. In that formation, they will automatically win. We have always done the numbers, and numbers, rather than political numbers, do not lie. Numbers will always dictate that if you have Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua from the Mount Kenya region supporting one candidate, it automatically means that the entire of the Mount Kenya region will vote in that direction. Then now, on top, you have the Eastern region. On top, you're adding the Luya votes. On top, you're adding the Kisii votes. That's a ticket that will pull over 60% of the total cast votes. Otherwise, you can tell me what you think about in the comment section about ODM's chances of producing a presidential candidate and the stakes they have on President Ruto's re-election in 2027. Do you think that President Ruto can have a chance if ODM produced a presidential candidate in the 2027 election? I'll take more time to read and give a response. And in case you're for the first time, and in case politics you like this way you should be, remember to subscribe, like this channel, and thank you very much for always supporting this platform. Just in a few days, we are almost to 5K subscribers. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and stay safe whenever you are.